Hey guys, it's Esteban with Incognitistic. I wanted to talk about something called rejection sensitivity dysphoria. And this is something that's very real that happens to a lot of neurodivergent people, including ADHD. I guess ADHD is mainly known for it, but also autism and a few others. So one of the things that I do know about it is that experiencing it is quite painful. The description of when somebody who is allistic and neurotypical is rejected seems painful. And based on the description of a quote-unquote regular person getting rejected for one reason or another, or feeling rejection, to me, feeling rejection, or when rejection is implied and you perceive it that way, can be so painful and so debilitating. And I don't know what really does this. I really can't understand it myself, because most of the time, if I'm doing what I'm doing and I like what I'm doing, and somebody does something to make me feel like they're rejecting my ideas or they're rejecting me as a person because I'm doing it, I usually don't care. Honestly, it doesn't faze me. However, the rejection that comes in the light of someone who you trust, or someone who you care about, or somebody who you're interested in, is something that deeply impacts you as a neurodivergent person, or it can anyways, to the point where it could even drive you to a shutdown or a meltdown, depending on how you react. For me, it creates a shutdown. It makes it so that it's very difficult for me to do anything, and it requires at least a day or two of downtime. So this is also something that can be perceived, where the other person is not really rejecting you, but because of your ability to communicate, there might be a deficit there. You pick up something, you download something, as Mark Hutton likes to put it, as not what it is. And so it's really important to develop this open line of communication with the people around you and be honest with them about how you can misinterpret things just based on who you are. And you don't have to tell them that you're disabled, but at the same time, you can just let them know that sometimes you have a hard time recognizing patterns in conversations. And so sometimes a gentleness around the conversation will need to be used. And also the ability, the mutual agreement for all parties to be able to ask questions, no matter how difficult the subject might be. So for me, I like to ask questions. I like to clarify. I like to start talking about what's bothering me immediately. And the more that I hold off on that, the harder it is for me to remember what it is without writing it down, and B, for me to, sorry, I had to pause that because the cat was interrupting. So B, it's also difficult for me to start formalizing thoughts when it's too long past, and I just kind of absorb it into my inner self. And I know that's not healthy, but communication is key when it comes to these kinds of things, especially something as powerful as rejection sensitivity dysphoria. So anyhow, that's my 2 thoughts, my 2 cents, and I hope that you're having a great day. Take care.